The two-sum algorithm is one of the fundamental problems in coding because it lays the groundwork for understanding array manipulation and efficient searching techniques. Mastering this problem is essential for building confidence in solving more complex algorithms and coding challenges. This video provides a clear, step-by-step example breaking down the logic into manageable parts to help you grasp the core concepts easily. Also, if you want a one-on-one Zoom call with me, go ahead and check out the link in the description for my mentorings. Now, today we are going to talk about the algorithm called two-sum. Now, this is a really classic one, so let's just dive into the problem and the solution. Given an array of integers called nums and an integer target, return the indices of the two numbers such that they add up to the target. Now, what do we have here? Let's take a look at the example. So we have the nums 2, 7, 11, 15. Let me just move this out of the way so we have a little bit more room. And the target would be 9. So the output would be 0 and 1 because the nums at 0, at index 0, that's 2, and plus nums at 1, index 1, that's 7, is equal to 9. So we have an array of ints, 2, 7, 11, 15, for example, and then we have a target, and we want to store, well, we want to get as the output the indices, not the actual values that are going to sum up the 9 over here, but the indices. So we have to check for the sum to be 9, of course, but we actually need to store the indices so we can get back this array that has basically two indices. In our case, it's 0 and 1. So let's talk about this. We have this array. We need basically to search for two values. If those two values add up the target, we have our solution. And also there is exactly one solution, and you may not use the same element twice. So let's just assume that the target was 8, and there was a 4 in the array, and then we just use 4 twice. That's not allowed in this case. So usually, as usual, there is a brute force approach, which is not advisable, and that's not the correct solution because of time complexity. It will just blow up. It will take a lot of time to just calculate if the array is significantly large. So the brute force is basically to just go through the array of nums in 2 for loops, like to just go once and twice. And of course, there you would just make sure that you are not using duplicates, and then check for each of the pairs if the target sum is 9 in our case. And if we found our first solution, our first target, then we just break out of the loop, and then we would just return that array with the indices, of course. But, that could be our first, 2 and 7, but this could be at the very end of our arrays, and then it would just, just blow. And by the way, with time complexity, you're just going to assume that, again, it will be just 2 for loops, which is really, really a bad thing to do. Now, that's the brute force approach, not advisable at all. What we need to do instead is to somehow store the values, the indices. And we are going to do that with a dictionary. Looking up a dictionary is O1 of time complexity, so it's basically instant. And if we are going to store the key value pairs of the indices, and now, the indices would be the values and the keys would be the actual values from the nums array. If we are going to store that, we're going to have a really great advantage. So let's just start typing things out so you better understand while we are coding it out. And that way we are going to get to the solution. Boost your SwiftUI skills with a focused 1-hour Zoom mentorship session. Whether you're facing a tough coding challenge, unsure about best practices, or looking for expert code review, this one-on-one session is designed around your goals. Get practical, personalized advice from a senior iOS developer with over 14 years of experience and move forward with clarity and confidence. Check the link in the description to book your session. So var dictionary, so dict equals, we are going to have a dictionary of int and to int. So again, we are going to have the key to be one of the values from the nums, and the value of the dictionary will be actually the index at what that value num is located at. Now, we are going to go through all of the nums, but not for number in nums, because we are interested in the indices. Remember, we need to return the indices of the two numbers. Okay, so for I in 0 all the way up to nums count. Okay, we are going to do the following. And this is where kind of our magic happens. So we need, let's say we are having index 0. We are having the value of 2. We need to calculate what is the proposed complementer to be able to have the target available. And if that proposed complementer is inside our dictionary, if it's already inside our dictionary, then we have a solution, right? If it is not, then we are going to add in this current number as a key and its index as the value inside the dictionary. Basically, that's it. So let's type this out. So first of all, we want to calculate the proposed complementer. And that is our target sum minus nums at that index, so I. Okay. Next, we want to check if our proposed complementer exists. So basically, if there is, if let j equals a dictionary, so j would be the value from the dictionary, which is the index that we are looking at, dictionary at proposed complementer. If that exists, then we have it. We are going to return I, or let's just go, the order is basically non-relevant, so j and I. We are going to return those two values. Otherwise, we just returned over here, but if we did not find this index, the nums index, basically the dictionary value, we are going to add to the dictionary for the key of our nums value at I, and of course, that's equal I. Again, we are going to store the index of that key. And basically, that's it. Now, I know this is really short, but that's how simple it is. And this is going to be really, really super fast. Okay, hope you enjoyed this. If you did, go ahead and also check out my mentoring sessions. The link is down in the description, rebeloper.com/mentoring. And also, this video was sponsored by Tangent ROI one-on-one Discord channel. Go ahead and check out their link in the description too.